Welcome back, everyone. This is Manohar Ali, and in this video, I'm going to discuss 10 more questions in the same Civil Public Service Commission lecture exam of 2024. I will start from question 11 till question 20. So this question 11 is related to English, and as promised earlier, like I will do questions, all the questions, so whether the questions are related to English or mathematics. So this is a simple, I think, helping up question. It says that I hope everyone dash learns something from this. So what I will use for this, I will use process of elimination. Okay. So since it is like the past tense learned, so technically I should not put here everyone had, have, has to does not make sense here because it is has to learned. After to, we have to put the, I think, infinitive form or something other, like not the third form most of the times. And if it is everyone, and whenever we have everyone, someone, and any one of you guys, either one of you, whatever, like we have to put the singular form of the verb. It means have is not used here. So we are left with only two options. One is has, which is used in present, and one is had, which is used in past. So this sentence does not give any sense of past. So I think has makes sense here. So I hope everyone had learned. Had does not make any sense because it is in past. So I hope everyone has learned something from this. So this was question 11. Let's move ahead. Question 12 is again related to English. So these are some sort of comparison questions where I have to compare all these four options with this one, and I have to choose the best one. You know very well what does hatred mean, and let me tell you what does uh, what is what does bigotry mean. So bigotry means like if you're biased to some sort of group, that is called bigotry. So some sort of feeling of biasness, and that biasness should create some sort of hatred. So basically, this is when you're biased. So what is the relationship? Like this is some sort of cause and effect. So the cause is some sort of biasness, and if you are biased to one group of people, it will create hatred for some other group of people. So this is some sort of cause, and that cause is giving some sort of effect. So obviously, option A is not correct because sweetness is not a cause for bitterness. Sugar is not a cause for wheat. And option D is also correct because good is not a cause of bad. So the option remains is C. Since we are going to check it or not, this is going to be option C. So what is fanaticism and what is intolerance? Intolerance is clear, like when you are intolerant, you are unable to be patient, and you can do anything without anything spontaneously you can do. So what is fanaticism? Fanaticism is like some sort of extreme belief in any idea. So if you are believing in one idea strongly, it means you will be intolerant to other ideas which are not aligned with your idea. So you will be like intolerant to other beliefs that are not aligned to your belief. So fanaticism gives rise to intolerance. So it should be option D. So there's some sort of cause, which is fanaticism, and it gives rise to intolerance, which is the effect. So it's going to be option C for this one. Okay. MCQ 13 is very simple one. It means it's simply like you are given a system of equations x1 plus 2x2 plus x3 equals 9. and 2x1 plus x2 plus 3x3 equals 7. This is like two equations and three variables, and you have to write this in this form, where A would be like the matrix of coefficients. You can see the coefficients. It's like when you look at the coefficients, it's 1 here, 2 here, 1 here, 2 here, 1 here, 3 here. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3. And then variables, which are x1, x2, x3. This is represented this uh, X matrix, which is the matrix of variables, and the right hand side is the matrix of constant, which is 9, 7. So obviously it should be option C. So this variable matrix should be on the left. So obviously the variable matrix is on the right, the variable matrix is on the right, and the coefficient matrix is on the left. So this doesn't make sense, either of these. So option C is correct in this way. Okay, this was simple. Question 14 is a line makes angles alpha, beta, gamma with the coordinate axis. Then what's the value of sine square alpha, sine square beta, and sine square gamma, and their sum? So first of all, like if you have a line in 3D, let's say, how does a line look like? So this is your 3D. And let's say this is the line that I'm looking for. This is the line, let's say it passes from the region. Like it can pass from anywhere. This is for the simplest case that I have. So these alpha, beta are the angles which this line makes with the coordinate axis. So this line makes some angle alpha. And let's say this is my x-axis, alpha with x-axis, beta with y-axis, and gamma with z-axis. These are some angles. And we can find what we call direction cosines of this line as well. Direction cosines are simply like, what is the cosine of this alpha, what is the cosine of this beta, and what is the cosine of this gamma. And there's a relationship that if you square them and add them all, this will give you 1. And there's a simple proof behind this one as well. So if you take the direction cosines of this line, it means what is the cosine of the angle alpha. And what is angle alpha? Angle alpha is the angle which this line makes with the x-axis, beta with the y-axis, gamma with the z-axis. You take their cosines, you square them, you sum them all, the answer should be 1. So from this, you can easily deduce what's going to be the value of sine square alpha plus sine square beta plus sine square gamma. So you know very well, like we can use this relationship like sine square theta is equal to 1 minus cosine square theta. This comes from the Pythagorean relationship. So sine square alpha plus sine square beta plus sine square gamma. Sorry. Gamma is 1 minus cosine square alpha plus 1 minus cosine square beta plus 1 minus cosine square gamma. So you can add the ones, this will give you 3, and you can take minus common from all of these, which will give you cosine square alpha plus cosine square beta plus cosine square gamma. And this is going to be 3 minus 1 because cosine square alpha plus cosine square beta plus cosine square gamma is 1. So 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. So we'll be having 2 is our correct answer. So it's too simple, I think. Okay. So the Fourier expansion of an even periodic function. So one thing is that it's an even function, it's a periodic function, so we'll find its Fourier transform, sorry, Fourier series, not the Fourier transform. It will contain what terms, like only cosine and a constant, only sine terms, or sine terms and a constant. To me, like this question is not supposed to be solved and supposed to be understood in a way that, okay, you have to discuss each and every term separately. Like, let me tell you that the function is equal to, not equal to, but approximately equal to some constant divided by 2, plus you have some ans and a term involving cosine, whatever n pi divided by p, or whatever it is, n pi px. Okay, n pi px plus bn sine n pi over px, where p is going to be the p, or 2p is going to be the period, because it's going to be from minus p to p. So 2p is going to be the period. Okay, what I will do, I know one thing, that this left-hand side f of x is an even function. I have to see that on right-hand side, what functions are even. So you know very well, a constant is always an even function. A constant is always an even function because it satisfies the property of an even function. Okay, does it satisfy? Yeah, it satisfies. You might be thinking, why I'm thinking on this. Okay, cosine is an even function, and sine is not an even function. So I have to cancel this. It means if f of x is even, its Fourier series representation will contain a constant and a cosine function. Because if left-hand side is even, the right-hand side must be an even function. This is how Fourier series works. Okay, so it should be cosine terms and a constant. So it should be option B to me. Okay, it makes sense. Okay, let's go ahead. This is a very simple question. You are given a function. You have to see that, okay, this satisfies which differential equation. Just put in differential equation, see what happens. But I think deducing the correct differential equation would be easy in this case. Okay. So what am I going to do is, to derive a differential equation, you have to eliminate the arbitrary constants. So since nothing is given to us, okay, what is a constant? So A is a constant here, M is a constant here, A is a constant here. So there are three different constants that we have. But when we look at the context, here M is mass attached to some sort of a spring or something else. So M is not a constant, it's a fixed number. M is not an arbitrary constant. Sorry, M is not an arbitrary constant. M is a constant which is given to you. So I said earlier, M is not a constant. So M is a constant. But we have to eliminate A and the big A and small a, I think. Yeah, so let's see what happens. So I have to differentiate this once, and obviously the derivative of cosine is negative sine mt minus a, and the derivative of mt minus a is going to be m, so I'll be putting m here. So differentiating it again, since there are two arbitrary constants, so I have to differentiate it twice at least. So the derivative of sine is cosine, so negative ma cosine mt minus a. So if I differentiate mt minus a, it will be m again. So I have to multiply m here. This becomes m squared. So now you can see that I can directly put the value of a cosine mt minus a, which is equal to x. So I can put directly with the value from here. A cosine mt minus a is equal to x. So this is the equation that I am looking for. So it is this one. Yeah, this one. It's really simple. There are two constants you have to differentiate twice. You can differentiate thrice, but it doesn't give you anything. It's going to be something redundant. Okay, this was MCQ number 16. Let's go ahead to discuss MCQ 17. This is a very simple question to me, like which are the following greatest three-digit prime? Obviously, I don't think so why they're given this question. Maybe I mistakenly I put a different number here. I don't know exactly, but if you look at this, this is an even number, never prime, because it's divided by 2 exactly. Even number, not a prime, divided by 2. And this 999 is divided by 3. Yeah. So there's only one option left, which is 997. This is going to be the answer that we are looking for. It's a prime number, whether you check it or not. With the process of elimination, you eliminated 3. The fourth one is a prime. No need to think about it more. So this was a simple question. This is again a simple question because you have to only expand to power 10, but expanding power 10 is really difficult. So what am I going to do is like I'm going to write this one as 1 plus I to the power 2 to the power 5. Since a square, we know the formula of a square, we can evaluate a square. Then we can deal with the fifth power. This is easy strategy to deal with. If this does not work, then we can do like something else, not this one. Okay, so 1 plus I square is square the first, twice the product of first and last, plus the square the last. Easy. And you know very well, I square is going to be -1. In -1, +1 cancel. We are left with 2I to the 5. And this is going to be fifth power of 2 and fifth power of I. Fifth power of 2 is 32. And fifth power of I is simply I. You know that thing. Because I to the 5 is simply I to the 4 times I. And I to the 4 is 1. 1 times I is going to be I. So this is 32I, which is going to be option B. Simple. Okay. MCQ number 19 is also simple. We have to find what's going to be the minimum value of A. So of F, the function which is given to us. So for minimum value, we have to differentiate and set it equal to 0. It means if you differentiate e to the x, it's going to be e to the x. If you differentiate ax, a is an constant, derivative of x is 1, so it's going to be a equal to 0. It will give me e to the x is equal to a. If I take log on both sides, it will be x is equal to log a. So this is the value where minimum or maximum will occur, or this is going to be the stationary point. Maybe not minimum or maximum exactly. I need to differentiate again to determine whether it's going to be the minimum or maximum, but I don't need that. I don't need that like technically, but if you want, you can do it. But you can see that, okay, your answer is going to be F evaluated that point X. So X is log A, so this is going to be option D. Or you can further verify that, okay, whether it's going to be the minimum or not. You differentiate it again. So this is going to be the function, the first derivative, the second derivative is e to the x. The derivative of a is 0, no need to write, and f double prime evaluated at log a is going to be e to the log a, which is going to be a, which is greater than 0. And you know very well, if f double prime value at a stationary point is greater than 0, it's going to be a minimum value. If it is less than 0, it's going to be a maximum value. And if it is 0, then we say that, okay, the test fails, or we are unable to conclude what happens, or yeah, is it point on inflection? I don't know exactly. It can be anything. Okay. I think this is the, after 19, this is the last MCQ that we are going to discuss. This is again too simple. Like, you don't need to do anything special later to mathematics here. So we have 3 points. So I'm going to draw, sorry for this. I'm going to draw a 2D plan. Like, man, what am I doing? Okay, I'm going to remove this and maybe redraw it. Okay, there's a point -1, 2. So you know very well, this is, let's say, -1, this is 2. It's going to be here. This is a -1, 2. And B is 6, 2. It's going to be somehow here. B is 6, 2. C is 1, -20. X is 1. Y is -1. Am I mistaken? So it'd be somewhere here. Oh, somewhere here. Somewhere here. So this is C. So how many different points of D that we can make to vertices of parallelogram? Okay. What should that be? Okay, what I'm going to do is, if I take this line AB and I want a line which is parallel to this, so there are 2 possibilities that I have. One possibility is going along this way. This is the D point that I'm looking for. One possibility is going along this way. This is the D point that I'm looking for, let's say. So if you do like this, you will get a parallelogram like this, or you do like this. So there are two possibilities that we have for now, but we can go for other possibility as well. If I take this line AC, maybe let me take red. This is my line AC. You can see this is AC. Then I can put D here somewhere. This is line BD, and this will give me a parallelogram. So maybe these are three possibilities, and I'm unable to find maybe any other possibility. So there are three possibilities that we are looking for. We can do it in maybe in any graphing tool, but I think we don't need. It's simple, like what are the positions that you can put D so that you have this parallelogram, or you can evaluate explicitly what are going to be the values of this uh, unknown vertex D. Okay, guys, see you next time for maybe with 10 other questions. So keep watching and keep learning. See you soon.